all the ideas from Blue Ocean Strategy. The book Blue Ocean Strategy teaches you how to create new markets with minimal competition by offering unique value to customers instead of fighting on overcrowded markets. It reveals tools such as the 4 Actions framework and the strategy canvas for developing innovative business strategies. It's worth reading for entrepreneurs and leaders aiming to elevate their business through a creative approach. Based on 15 years of research into 150 companies, the book was the result of the author's work at INSEAD Business School. It has been translated into 47 languages and sold over 4 million copies worldwide. On Amazon, it remains a top business book. The Blue Ocean concept has inspired companies like Apple and Cirque du Soleil to create unique products. Chapter 1. Creating Blue Oceans. To succeed, create new markets with minimal competition by offering unique value. Focus on creating new demand, not on fighting for existing customers. Practice the value innovation method, simultaneously reducing costs and increasing value for buyers. Study examples of companies like Cirque du Soleil for inspiration. Notice how this opens new opportunities. Identify what unique value you can offer customers. For example, a new service format. For instance, cut unnecessary product features while adding unique ones. Study successful businesses to understand their approach. This creates a market without competitors. For example, open a coffee shop with a unique design and notice how you attract new customers. Or remove complex features from an app and observe its growing popularity. Innovation is freedom. This chapter teaches you to create markets without a fight. Chapter 2. Analytical tools and frameworks. To develop a blue ocean, use tools that help analyze the market and find new opportunities. Apply the strategy canvas to visualize how your business differs from competitors. Practice the 4 Actions framework. Eliminate, reduce, raise, create to rethink your offering. Compare your product to industry standards to identify gaps. Notice how this simplifies your strategy. Draw a graph comparing your product with competitors on key parameters. For example, eliminate expensive packaging while increasing eco-friendliness. Make a list of what new things you can create. This makes you stand out in the market. For example, remove extra features from your cafe menu and add unique drinks, observing increased interest. Or compare your service to competitors and note how new services attracted customers. Tools are a map. This chapter teaches you to see the path to a blue ocean. Chapter 3. Reaching beyond existing demand. Growth is possible by attracting non-customers rather than battling for current ones. Identify 3 tiers of non-customers: those who rarely buy, those who refuse, or those who have never considered your product. Practice the non-customer analysis method, asking, why don't they choose us? Create an offer that solves their problems. For example, simplification or price reduction. Notice how this expands the market. List reasons why people avoid your product. For instance, high price. For example, offer a simplified version of your service for new customers. Ask what's stopping them. This attracts new buyers. For example, lower the price of a basic product and observe an influx of newcomers. Or simplify an app's interface and note increased users. Non-customers are potential. This chapter teaches you to expand your market. Chapter 4. Focus on the big picture, not the numbers. An effective strategy focuses on long-term value, not short-term numbers. Create a strategy canvas to visualize how your business differs from competitors. Practice the visual strategy method, drawing a graph that shows what to enhance or eliminate. Hold discussions with your team to develop a shared vision. Notice how this simplifies planning. Draw a chart comparing your product with competitors based on price and quality. For example, gather your team to discuss the unique aspects of your business. Eliminate unnecessary features to stand out. This creates clarity. For example, draw a canvas for a cafe, removing complex dishes, and observe an increase in customers. Or discuss uniqueness with your team and note how it inspired them. The big picture is the plan. This chapter teaches you to see the entire strategy. Chapter 5. Beyond existing demand. Growth is possible if you attract non-customers rather than fighting for current ones. identify 3 tiers of non-customers: those who rarely buy, those who refuse, or those who have never considered your product. Practice the non-customer analysis method, asking, why don't they choose us? Create an offer that solves their problems, for example, simplification or price reduction. Notice how this expands the market. List reasons why people avoid your product, for instance, high price. For example, offer a simplified version of your service for new customers. Ask, what's stopping them? This attracts new buyers. For example, lower the price of a basic product and observe an influx of newcomers. Or simplify an app's interface and note increased users. Non-customers are potential. This chapter teaches you to expand your market. Chapter 6, getting the strategic sequence right. For a strategy to work, follow a sequence: utility, price, cost, adoption. Verify product utility by asking, does it solve a customer problem? Practice the strategic sequence method, assessing if the price is accessible and if costs cover profit. Ensure the team is ready for adoption, removing barriers. Notice how this ensures success. Evaluate whether your product solves a specific problem, for example, convenience. For example, check if the price is accessible to the target audience. Ensure the team is trained for launch. This guarantees results. For example, ensure the app solves a problem and is accessible, and watch sales grow. Or train staff before launch and note a smooth start. Sequence is success. This chapter teaches you to build a reliable plan. Chapter 7, overcoming key organizational hurdles. Implementing a blue ocean strategy requires overcoming internal obstacles, such as employee resistance or limited resources. Motivate the team by explaining how the new strategy will improve their work and the company. Practice the tipping point leadership method, appointing change leaders who inspire others by their example. Remove cognitive barriers by holding meetings to discuss the benefits of the strategy. Notice how this reduces resistance. Organize a meeting where you explain how the new product will make the team's work easier. For example, choose an enthusiast to promote changes in the department. Show data on profit growth from innovations. This unites the team. For example, explain to salespeople how a unique product will increase their bonuses, and observe a rise in enthusiasm. Or appoint a project leader and notice how they inspired colleagues. Barriers are challenges. This chapter teaches you to lead your team through change. Chapter 8, building execution into strategy. Successful execution requires integrating strategy into daily processes so that it becomes part of the company's culture. Involve employees in plan development so they feel ownership. Practice the transparent implementation method, regularly communicating progress and successes. Train the team on new processes so they adapt easily. Notice how this accelerates progress. Ask employees to suggest ideas for a new product at a meeting. For example, share weekly reports on strategy advancement. Conduct training on new work methods. This strengthens commitment. For example, incorporate team ideas into the marketing plan and observe increased engagement. Or train staff on a new system and notice how it simplified work. Process is foundation. This chapter teaches you to embed strategy into daily operations. Chapter 9, conclusion. The long-term viability of blue ocean strategy. For sustainable success, refresh your blue ocean strategy by monitoring market changes and customer needs. Periodically, review your strategy canvas to ensure you remain unique. Practice the continuous renewal method, analyzing new competitors and non-customers annually. Inspire the team to innovate to maintain leadership. Notice how this preserves your blue ocean. Once a year, check how your product differs from new competitors. For example, survey non-customers to understand their evolving needs. Encourage the team to propose innovations. This maintains uniqueness. For example, update your service design after market analysis and observe increased demand. Or implement a new feature based on team suggestions and note how it attracted customers. Renewal is life. This chapter teaches you to maintain leadership. This is such a wonderful book. I've compiled a separate list of all the important theses from this book, along with all the techniques and tools, and created a step-by-step action plan that you can immediately implement in your life. You can get all this in my community, Place of Power. There, you will find a detailed text analysis with similar lists for each book being reviewed. The community has already thoroughly analyzed and made available to you hundreds of world bestsellers, with a new analysis released every day. Follow the link in the description and use it.